Alright. So here we are on the last turn, and we hopefully get to see the score list and put it to rest finally and look at the score, see what the final score is. Um, so let's do that. Oops. I should probably be prepared first, right? Alright. Slightly more prepared now. Alright. So let's take a look. Do you want to come over here, Naruto? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you have to say? Mm-hmm. Wow. Alright, well, I do need to move a little bit. Yeah? Oh. Hmm. Let's just look around. I don't think he hit anything. I think it's just bad map design. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see any hidden units. Um, there you go. A completely clear map. Well, maybe that hex. There, I did it. There's no left. Oh no, this hex. Leave no hex uncovered. Oh, why is that one not covered? There we go. Alright, the full map is fully busted. There's no more fog. And I don't see any more units, so it's definitely not that. It's definitely just the map was not properly scripted to end. Okay. Well, let's end it then. Hey, we win. Victory. Now let's look at this kill score. Alright, number one is one of these 21 centimeter. The 31st, 21, it killed 31 things over 1,000 worth of prestige, and it never took a return fire. Oh yeah, here's that HS1 That's that interceptor. And it intercepted 14 strategic bombers and stuff worth 500. Good job. Here's another 21 centimeter Mars. Didn't quite do as much. Here's an AA. Here's one of the scout planes. This was the ground attack plane. One of the jets. Artillery. This is one of the, yeah, these scores are not as impressive. They're just like 1 kills. Oh wow, look at this guy. Oh, the moss. Yep, the moss. There's one of the mosses, the 15th moss. That must have been the south moss, the southern moss. And it did 52 kills, were valued at 2100 prestige over 2171. Wow, that's so much. And it only took 4 damage, worth 424 points. Definitely pulled its weight. Wow. Here's one of the mountain troopers. Did a really great job. That's what else we got here? The Volks Grenadiers. They traded pretty decently in the city. Here's one of the Comets. Some bikes. Here's the other Moss. 1300 points worth of kills, 23 kills, 5 losses. What else we got here? What's this? Oh, here's a Tiger 2, one of the Tiger 2s that really got beat up. And as good as the Tiger 2 is, it does get outshined. And even I would say even this last scenario, it wasn't as great. I mean, it's still a great tank and all, but it's not impenetrable. I love the Tigers, but they are not impenetrable. And this one really back and forth. This must have been the one up north. Um, Here's another Tiger too. This one didn't take as much. That must have been the other one in the north. Yeah. They both did a good job though. One of the pioneers really trading back and forth. Let's look at some of the really ouchies. Oh, here's my Jag Tigers, and I lost a Jag Tiger too, which we don't get to see. I wish it would. I wish it would put some type of separate list or some way to view your killed units, what their score list was, because any of your killed units here, you don't get to see what their score list was. Their kills and losses, and you can't even look at it the other way too, like you can look at what you lost, but you can't see like what their record was before they died. Um, but here's both of the Jack Tigers, funny enough, in the bottom of the list. Why? Because they're so expensive, but they did, and they took, and they they're going to be the focal point of an enemy attack because one of the first things you got to get rid of when you try to do an advanced is the enemy AT that's protecting, or the enemy artillery that's protecting, right? You got to get rid of the pieces that are protecting the front line first so that you can actually break up the front line. But you got to get rid of the supporting units. So, I mean, that's why they're the focus. And I would argue that a Jag Tiger is better than a Tiger 2. I would rather have on a singular basis. I would rather have a Jag Tiger than a Tiger 2. Um, but they're the workhorses, right? They have to take the damage, and it's expensive, but they have a job to do, and that's why they're at the bottom of the list because they didn't really kill much, but they sure took a lot of damage, and it's costly. Um, Here's the bombardment down there. What else do we got here? What really traded pretty good? Oh, here's one of the here's one of the Recon 8 rods. Some of the scouts. Yeah. So let's review the battlefield. I don't know why though, because we already saw it all really. But sure, whenever. review the battlefield and we can look at the kill ratio. I think I already did before, but yeah, 18 infantry, 17 tanks, 8 recons, 1 AT, 1 artillery, 7 anti-tank. That's the one in the south that really did all the heavy lifting. And then this one up in the north got 5 tank kills, 11 anti-tank, and 7 anti-aircraft. This Tiger, 10, 10, 7, and 9. Where's the other? Oh yeah, the other Tiger was this one. Did 5, 10, 12, and 6. It's pretty good. Where was the 21 centimeter? That was it this one? 13, 4, 3, 7, 4. That's pretty good. This one took a lot of damage. This one took some damage. Yeah. One of these pioneers. It wasn't those pioneers. Was it these pioneers? Or was it? Do I have another pioneer? Because I lost a pioneer too here that fought. I wonder what his record was. See, here's all the things that we lost. Mountain troops, mountain troops, mountain troops. Pioneer, pioneer, pioneer. And then some of the infantry, and then a whole bunch of recons. And one of the Jag Tigers, the rocket artillery from turn 1. And then yeah, some planes and some scouts. And then what do we get for score? Okay, cool. Yeah, we got 1900 for score 2 there. So that's good. I think let's see. So I guess let's just do the Oh, I thought they already I thought they might have fixed it. Nope, we still get the same error. That's cool. No worries, right? And we'll just Alt F for it. Alright, and then let's check the scores on the website. Alright, alright. Scores on the website. So technically right now, we're in second. Right behind Trepco. Not very close. He's got 21,000 points, 905. I've got 21,898. So only what, 7 points separate us? Which is not many points. That's like what, a couple of infantry kills. So it's very close. Third place here we got Folklore. With 19,000 points. Alright. And then of course there's still a lot of matches that haven't been completed. So like Adele's and Klecko's, I mean when they finish there, I expect them to probably topple me. Like I don't think I'll be second. I might be third or fourth because their round is still lots left to finish. It looks like they're in the beginning of it still. So they'll probably score lots of points. The rest of the scores people though I don't think will. Yeah, nobody else will really, I think, score enough points to really topple the top 3 other than whatever Adele's and Klecko's round result is. But it shows here that I got the gold so far, right? So far for this specific round, I've done the best. Nobody else has scored more points. Um, that's what this represents, right? So for if you want to look back at the old rounds too, anything in the gold color is first, silver is second, and bronze is third. Um, Silver, I guess, is like a gray, and then I guess this is like a tannish. I don't know, but yeah. So for this specific round, we'll have to see what Adele's and Kleko's and everybody else's really, because anybody could score the high score. But as of right now, I got the high score, and I did do a little bit better than Trepko in his round fighting his opponent. But he did very impressively too. Um, but yeah, so next round isn't gonna be for like another week or so, but and then yeah, so we're not gonna see anything until next month really, or the end of this month, right? I think no, it's gonna be next month. I think the 4th maybe, and then we'll see the next round and we'll see who we're gonna be fighting. I think I don't know. It really depends where Adele and Kleko falls, because if they both fall above me, um, well, that's a good question. I think Trepko has Trepko fought Adele? I think a Trepko might fight Adele, and then Kleko might fight Folklore, and I might fight whoever is below that. I don't know. I have no idea who my opponent will be yet. People still need to finish their rounds. Um, but it's something to think about. And it's neck and neck up here. And I definitely that was definitely a very solid round. Um, on both the Allied and the German side. Because if we scroll down, here's mine. Yeah, 1900 as the Allies and 1937 points for the German side. So very, very solid. Trepko did 1700, but he did 1999. Wow. So Trepko did a better job on the German side than I did. And I did a better job on the Allied side than he did. Interesting. And it's interesting how Natoa did a better job on his German defense than he did on his Allied assault. Because I just feel that map is is definitely Allied favored. It's definitely an Allied favored map, even though I feel even though I scored a couple more points, it was a lot harder. It was a lot harder of a fight, and I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting to see how the map how the map plays out, and then how specifically if you did good with the Germans, or if you did bad with the Germans, or if you did good with the Allies, or if you did bad with the Allies in comparison. It's just interesting to me because it helps to determine like biases, right? Like I would definitely say this map is Allied favor and it's designed that way, I think, and it's historically that way. But the last map was definitely Russian favored, and it's historically that way. Um, hmm. But yeah, well, I guess that's about it for now, and we'll get to see more tournament rounds in a couple of weeks. Um, yeah, it was a pleasure as always, and that was a great round. Lots of lots of fun stuff with prototypes and jet planes and circling, and it was just and a lot of hill fighting. That was a fun that was a fun round because of the interesting different fronts. So the North City front was an interesting fight. You had the tanks just north of the city fighting it out, and then you would have a huge infantry clash inside the city, all with artillery supporting it. That was an interesting dynamic. And then just a little bit below that in the south, or a little bit below that more, I guess, more like in the center, you had the hill fight. You had the mountain troops and just infantry and artillery and maybe some planes, but it was a totally different fight because of all the rough terrain. Um, and it was a sparse front too because of that, right? Like we didn't focus much in the hills, although they were really important and the mountain troops were great there. Um, and then in the south, though, that was in a completely different experience. So in the north, you're trying to, you know, play, right? You're trying to dance back and forth. He's coming in at you hard, and you back up a little bit, and you repose, and you get ready to counterattack. And that was the thing in the north was that dance. Um, but in the south, it wasn't like that. The south was just static for most of the game. We just sat there in the south and we waited, kind of like a tarantula that's sitting in a hole, and we're just waiting for our opportunity to strike, you know? And we don't want to do it too soon and mess it all up and be caught out in the open. No, when we come out and we strike, we want to be devastating, direct, and precise with no counterattack. And luckily it worked. Like, I was somewhat hesitant on when to do the attack, but and my Jag Tigers paid the price for it. They paid the ultimate price, but it was great to lunge out and attack just when we did, um, because we were able to create those encirclements. Immediately right after that, we caught that T-26 on the road. We smashed the T-28 and encircled it with the side with the moss. So that was completely different. You had to not just attack, you had to hold back and just really wait. So and that could have gone a lot of different ways in the South too. So um, it was really interesting, right? The this map. Last map was really interesting too with the lake. Like the map designers do a great job with making fun, interesting, strategically challenging, maps that you have to really look at and digest and really plan what you can do, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your capabilities are, what your likely um, stumbling blocks will be or roadblocks. So it's just really good so far, and I'm really looking forward to some more of the maps in the future. And I really wonder what the new maps will be, um, and what battles we'll fight. So should be really great, fun stuff to look forward to, and um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Um, but I guess that's all for now. Um, and we'll go from there. It's been a pleasure. Later.